Hi, Mark. Pretty exciting.
Oh, absolutely. I guess you could say go green in downtown Flint. A huge crowd is gathered here inside of what used to be the Flint Journal building.
Mark, families had funerals planned in the next few days. What's being done to accommodate those services?
Roger Sharp is telling us he's asking everybody to please call Sharp Funeral Homes to find out what schedule is being set up in order to take care of all those funerals that have been planned for today. And again, all the 10 bodies or so that were inside of here have been removed safely. They've been moved to other Sharp locations. So if you happen to have a friend or a family member that was here, call Sharp Funeral Homes. They can help you locate those bodies. But I have to show you the inside of Sharp Funeral Home right now. This building goes back to 1969 when Roger Sharp first bought this, and you can see this room right here. This is actually probably the best conditioned area of this entire funeral home right now, and you can see just how much of a mess it is too. But obviously the fires last night just causing devastation over here. Take a walk down here too, because I want to give you a little bit of perspective. You can see all the broken glass here, and most of the fire department, most of the firefighters have left right now. But come on down here too, because even just the rooftop here, pretty much gone. Okay, that's an A-frame up there, and if you look inside of this window, you can see how badly damaged this funeral home is.
Mark Jacobson has been out there following the story all morning. And Mark, what can you tell us?
Right now we can actually just show you what's happening here on the street. A lot of people are gathered here right now, emotions just spilling over. We can't really show you what's happening beyond the police tape, but it appears that the coroner has just arrived. That white car out there is the one that apparently crashed into several motorcycles shortly after 12:30 this morning. Two bodies, it appears, laying in the road, and it appears right now that the coroner is beginning to remove those bodies as well. And again, this area of Saginaw Street between Myrtle and Moore closed right now.
What do you got going on there, Mark?
I'm trying to get my balance back. First things first, let's just establish that. But this is cradle yoga and aerial yoga. It's a new trend that's just really popping up all over the place. And I got to point over here because this is Nicole. She is third generation circus. I kid you not, okay? She can do anything. She's amazing. And over here we have Julietta. She's going to be running a workshop here on Saturday beginning at 1 o'clock. And what the heck's the story behind all this, too?
Well, a circus performer harmed his back and combined the cradle fabric, or the aerial fabric, which is what I'm in, with yoga poses, and he healed his back, and we're all doing great since then. And
it's the same material that they use at Cirque du Soleil, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, hop on down because I want to give this a shot. This is against my better judgment, but we're going to try a death-defying act here.
Okay.
This could get ugly, but hold that right
Here we go.
All right, we're just hopping in, right?
6 bunches, 6 or 7 bunches, jumping
all right.
up to the knees.
Up to the knees.
To the knees.
Okay.
Okay.
And now what?
We're going to go upside down. We're going to do an inversion. It's going to be good
an inversion.
For the back. It's going to feel great on your back.
Good for the back as long as they don't fall,
yeah.
right?
Put up the legs.
Okay.
Slowly let go.
Let go?
Let go of your hands. Have faith, baby.
You're gonna spin me around too? Oh, wow.
You got to open up the legs.
Wow. All right, if you want to find more information about cradle yoga happening here this Saturday, go to abc12.com. Oh, look at it. Puck's already flying at me, okay? You know what? 18 goalies in the Olympic Games will be wearing all this gear coming up in Sochi, Russia in just a matter of days. And right now I'm wearing kind of a mishmash. We got pieces from several different goalies out here. Lapierre's has set the bar. Not only did they bring in over $1,100 in cash, translating to more than 10,000 pounds of food for the food bank, but they brought in all of this. We don't know how much is here, but I guarantee you we're going to find out. George Metropolis grew up with dreams of playing rock and roll on the big stage, and in some ways his dreams have come true.
We've built amplifiers that have gone to Kiss, to Bon Jovi. They've been on tour with John Mayer for years.
In fact, you never know who might stop by George's house for a quick jam session.
I've had some rock stars in the basement here. It's always a little, strange, like, okay, watch your head coming down the stairs.
This Burton, Michigan basement is the home of Metropolis Amplification. Since 2003, master amp builder George Metropolis and his small staff have been building amps here and sending them on the road to some of the most famous music venues in the world. Oh, and by the way, prior to all of this, George spent a couple of years playing guitar himself for some guy named Kid Rock.
Remember all that time we spent in the van driving around to gigs? Well, you can pay me back now, buy some amps.
Each amp sells for around $3,000, and while George Metropolis hasn't made his millions just yet, he does have some lofty goals for the future.
I envision a day where I have a shop on ground level and I don't have to carry amps up the steps.
So is this the loudest house in the neighborhood? Do all the neighbors complain?
All the time.
Well, here we go. Let's see if we can get a little louder.
I don't need a whole lot of money.
I don't need Big fine car. Flint native Marc Farner is back where it all began. Saturday night, he'll play his first hometown concert since the mid-1990s.
We're going to rock this place. This is going to be the best concert of my life. I'm telling you that right now.
That's a pretty bold statement for a guy who's played for a single crowd of over 185,000 with Grand Funk Railroad. But to Farner, that can't compare to playing Atwood Stadium on Saturday night for the very first time.
I told the guys back in the day, I said, man, we need to go back to Flint, and Grand Funk needs to play Atwood Stadium, but it just never happened.
Farner grew up only a few blocks away from Atwood. He still has family in Flint, and just taking a stroll through the old neighborhood gives him chills.
My sister Diane and I used to go down to the National Guard Armory down here in Flint and dance, and we won a couple of dance contests, and man, we thought was, hey.
And as far as the set list for Saturday, it's a collection of Grand Funk classics picked out by Farner's fans on his website.
We're doing Some Kind of Wonderful and, you know, Locomotion and all the hits.
And don't worry, they'll sound a little bit better than this. My baby, them women,
they all right. And them women clean out of sight. Don't you know that they
some kind of wonderful. In Flint, Mark Jacobson, ABC 12 News.
All right, here it is. Check it out. The ESPN magazine cover that has everyone talking this morning. The magazine shows former Tiger Prince Fielder for one of its body image covers, and oh yeah, he is naked in all his glory. You like what you see there, Jamie?
You know, to say that this has everyone talking is an understatement. People are just going nuts over this picture.
He said himself it's a 12-pack, not a 6-pack, and be proud of it. But, you know, Prince's cover has inspired a bunch of hilarious and outrageous spoofs all over the internet and social media. There's the Wrecking Ball, which is, of course, a take on Miley Cyrus's controversial music video. This is a good one. I like this.
Well,
okay.
How about Prince spinning the wheel on The Price is Right? That's pretty funny.
They just need Bob Barker in there next to him. This is my favorite. A picture of a naked Prince Fielder hailing a cab in the snow, and it's pretty chilly out there, but he's doing all right.
That's really funny. I'm sure there are so many more of those to come.
And, you know, I'm thinking of other images you could do, maybe like Prince doing needlepoint, or maybe Prince, I don't know, making fondue with hot oil.
Or doing the weather.
That could be. You know, speaking of that, you know, the ABC 12 body issue will be coming out later today at Big Lots locations. It's absolutely free. It's guaranteed to be a collector's item. You can see John Murray like checking the rain gauge in his backyard, and maybe like Jamie baking cookies and me changing the oil in my car. It's fantastic. All right.
There's something wrong with you.
We turn our attention straight to the forecast with Kevin, and we keep talking about it's a sweaty Sunday, humidity overload in some sense. Are we getting any relief today?
Yeah, not today. In fact, not today, not tomorrow, not even on Tuesday.
Those storms we talked about earlier posing a little too much of a risk at the annual balloons over Bavaria last night. It forced the pilots to make the call to hold off just moments before the big launch. Here's ABC 12's Matt Woodcoast. That canceled summit meeting between President Trump and Kim Jong-un to shut down North Korea's nuclear and missile program may be happening after all. Here's ABC's David Packer. Logan's Lemonade stand out of Grand Blanc, get this, they raised $245 all to help animals in need. Last weekend, officers stopped by to help him reach his goal. He took the money he earned over to PetSmart to buy items for the Humane Society of Genesee County, and a big surprise donation by the store added a cart full of supplies to the big haul. After dropping off the supplies, the Humane Society thanked Logan with a tour and t-shirt, and Logan says he has some big plans to do it all over again next year. A reminder this Memorial Day weekend about the consequences of driving while impaired. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD, invited families who have lost loved ones to drunk drivers to head over to the Flint Farmers Market yesterday. Family members added names to a remembrance tree and left cards with messages on them. This holiday weekend, people are being urged to be extra cautious while driving out on the roads. Memorial Day is a time to remember those who fought and died for our country. Yesterday out in Mount Morris, people who made the ultimate sacrifice were honored. ABC 12's Andy Chambo shows us how. Happening today, part of holiday weekend fun. You can take your children and the whole entire family over to the Flint Children's Museum for free. Over 40 hands-on educational exhibits will be accessible at no charge, including areas such as the Smart Mart grocery store, Sam's House, Fractions Pizzeria, and the Big Climbing Wall. The event begins at noon and ends at 5, and how cool is that? Mr. Scientist guy over here, Kevin Goff, joining us. And as we get ready for this day here, I'm hoping that you can maybe do something to conjure up some good weather for us and keep that rain away so we can get those balloons up in Frankenmuth. What do you think?
Looking a little better now.
Happening today right in the middle of those muggies that Kevin talked about. A lot of events going on around mid-Michigan and definitely in the town of Frankenmuth, along with other places too. This morning we're talking balloons, we're talking pets, specifically dogs, for this year's Frankenmuth Dog Bowl. And right now let's head out to the Muth. Andy Chambo is standing by. And all right, Andy, first things first, we've been talking all morning about those balloons hopefully getting up in the air. Are we having any luck right now? Because I know the weather has not been working in anybody's favor. I'll check back in with you in just a little bit. And also again tonight, Bluebell Beach in Genesee Township, they're having their annual fireworks show as well. That fireworks display will help kick off Genesee County Park's 50th anniversary celebration. More about that celebration over at abc12.com. Time right now is 9:16. We'll be right back. The massive blockbuster Avengers Infinity War has been in theaters for 1 month now, and it's left Marvel movie fans on edge about what could possibly happen in the sequel. Rick DeMelija assembled a trio of movie experts to talk about what might happen in Avengers 4. Kevin's here with us right now, and we keep getting calls all morning about people without power from all those outages, the storms last night. If we take a look right now, we can see kind of what the outage map is looking like right there too, and it's 8,000 or so people.
More than 8,000 people are without power.
Now, yesterday was National Heat Awareness Day, and a big reminder for you to be aware of the sometimes deadly consequences that come along with heat stroke and dehydration. With loads of sunshine and high temperatures, you can also expect HVAC companies to be flooded with service calls. ABC 12's Elise Ramey tells us how some are turning on the AC for the very first time this year. Michigan State Police are using a new tactic to tackle the growing issue of human trafficking, and they've taken to Facebook to do it. As ABC 12's Mallory Pearson shows us, their recent message reached thousands of people. A Shiawassee County man is facing animal cruelty charges today. That's after 17 dead cattle were discovered on his new Lothrop farm. 18 cows are still alive and have been confiscated by the Sheriff's Department. They're in need of hay and grain donations to help care for them. The owner is Raymond Jacobs. He faces 1 count of animal abandonment and cruelty to 10 or more animals. The Department of Agriculture says the cows likely died of chronic malnutrition, along with inadequate living conditions and a lack of vet care. A group of Detroit civil rights activists are preparing to protest outside Ford Field during Lions games this year. That's if team owner Martha Ford doesn't denounce the new NFL policy on standing during the national anthem.
They will be nonviolent.
The NFL announced Wednesday that players can stay in the locker room during the Star-Spangled Banner, but must stand if they're on the field. The Lions voted in favor of this policy. And in Health Source this morning, a large study of company wellness programs say free electronic cigarettes did not help smokers quit more than the usual methods, such as nicotine patches. The only thing that really worked was offering them money to kick the habit. Critics of the study say it does not close the case on e-cigarettes. The study involved 6,000 smokers who were offered to help in quitting, but they may not have wanted to, and that less than 2% of them overall managed to succeed. Authentic Italian is coming into downtown Grand Blanc. You heard that right. Locally owned Italia Gardens has officially signed a purchase agreement to build a restaurant right next to City Hall. That's right near the corner of Grand Blanc Road and Davis. The owner, Don Haley, has been looking forward to growing the businesses, which currently feeds customers in Flint Township, Davison, and Oxford. Haley went to the Food Truck Festival launched by Grand Blanc last year and saw a need for more options, so he felt it was time for this expansion and that it would be a perfect project for the area. The Grand Blanc Italia Gardens location will have a similar menu to the other spots, with outdoor seating being planned. And Flint residents, they also have the opportunity to pick up bottled water today. We'll fill you in on that a little bit here as well. Little Miss Flint and Pack Your Back raised money through a GoFundMe page for the distribution. The $32,000 raised will supply 100,000 bottles of water today. You can stop by the U of M Flint parking lot at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's located on the corner of Saginaw and 5th Street. After Kevin's First Alert HD forecast, we're going to go live back out to Frankenmuth. We'll hear from Andy on the latest of what's happening out there with balloons over Bavaria and Dog Bowl. Plus, the oldest survivor of Pearl Harbor sharing some of his personal memories of that tragic day and how it's still affecting him decades later. Time right now is 9:43. Happening today, a lot of events going on in the city of Frankenmuth, along with a few other places around mid-Michigan. This morning, we're talking balloons, we're talking pets, specifically dogs for this year's big Frankenmuth Dog Bowl. Always a huge, huge happening. Let's head out to Frankenmuth right now. Andy Chambo is joining us. And Andy, okay, it looks like you got quite the crowd over there. Anything spectacular to see right now?
It keeps filling in the more and more as we go.
I've seen over your shoulder there, the splashes coming up. Are you feeling a little of the mist coming your way at this point in time?
Unfortunately, I'm not close enough, but
The oldest surviving Pearl Harbor veteran is talking about his memories of that horrific day. Ray Chavez, who is 106 years old, says his thoughts about his military service and the attack never go away. Diane Gallagher reports. All right, the final countdown. Weather, one last check of it. How are we looking for the rest of the day?
Look for temperatures near 90 degrees.
All right,
today.
Sherry Hardman's in at 6 o'clock. Hey, everybody, enjoy the rest of your holiday Sunday. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock. Have a great weekend, everybody.